This is a nice thing to come home to. I've been waiting on these for about a month now. I'm gonna get these in the garage and we're gonna go for a drive in a very fun car. So this is my 1988 Mustang 302 5-speed, and it's just a fun little car. I love driving it, running errands. I got it a few years ago, started doing some work on it. It needed a whole new interior. Someone had put in some really goofy interior Subaru seats and stuff. I found 1988 interior for it, so it's all original. And I found the right wheels for it. Someone had put on some goofy wheels. But yeah, it's just a fun little car. And I did it before I started doing the YouTube videos. And so I'm just kind of showing it off, I guess. And yeah, but it's time to get back to the truck and get to work. Okay, one guess as to what this is. It is the 2 pieces of missing trim from the passenger side. And yes, the shipping cost more than the actual pieces of trim cost. Okay, so here's some of the stuff that came in. These are all body mount stuffs, cab mounts, and those are the bed bolts. Someone, you may have missed it in the first video, I showed how someone has done like a 1.5-inch lift on this, a body lift, but they used blocks of wood. So I'm going to yank all those out. I'm going to set the body back down where it should be, stock from the factory, and put some new bushings in. I also just got a bunch of clips to help with that trim. Also got a blower, the heater blower switch, and got a new boot for the 4-wheel drive. So apparently 79 and 80 were kind of 2 years where they had a lot of special stuff for some reason. Like the Carmine Red interior was only available for those 2 years. And this shifter boot was only a 2-year thing, which was kind of weird, kind of hard to get. And last but not least, I got a set of factory beauty rings. Because, I mean, here in New Mexico, we got class. You know, we have beauty rings. We're not a bunch of bums, you know. We don't drive around without beauty rings, you see. So yeah, it's time to start putting this back together. I think tomorrow. I also want to try and start doing some experimenting with the paint and see what's going on. What is this yellow? I can't tell if it's the primer or what's going on. So I may do a couple buff experiments on it here. I also want to take another step on the bash guards here. I'll take these off. We'll see how good the chrome is on that bumper and on the grill. I'd like to see what's going on there and get these to the next step. I got to find the piping. I got to go visit my metal supply guy, get the 2 pieces of pipe I need in there so I can put in the driving lights. Okay, so today I got a couple hours. I want to swap out these bed bolts real quick. And, you know, this should be a carriage bolt, but it's not. And it's loose. So this was clearly not done the right way. Not sure what I'm going to find once I start getting these out. So yeah, check this out. the nut had fallen off. So yeah, check that out. I kind of admire that. So I got these 4 out. I've worked my way around to the back and underneath here, and guess what I saw? So I'm at the back here with the taillights, and this looks like house wiring to me. So I think this explains why I didn't have brake lights. Who knows what's going on here, but I'm gonna have to dig into this here in a bit. There's some wiring hanging down on the mufflers, which I'm gonna go back and look at this video and see what's going on. Oh, it's right on the muffler. Oh, it might be the gas gauge switcher. Yeah, I bet it's the switch for the 2 gas tanks, which, I mean, gas and wires on mufflers is not a good idea. So I'm seeing a few things under here that are kind of weird. The emergency brake is on the muffler, which I guess that happens when you put in some aftermarket mufflers. But all in all, it's kind of clean under here, actually. And I've got all the bolts out except for the very back 2 bolts. And actually they're loosened up. I'm gonna leave them in to keep the bed centered. And so now I'll get a jack and some blocks of wood, and I'll jack up the bed so I can get out the last few spacers, try and get some bolts in to hold it in place. Then I'll come back and take out these 2. Okay, so you can see I've jacked it up a little bit. I got the spacers knocked out. These actually look like legit. So I guess they kind of had a mixture. I'm not sure if anyone can tell me. Leave a comment if this is what a legit body lift spacer looks like. So this is kind of a cool shot here, and you can see. So now I'm gonna set it down, hopefully be able to get a few bolts in there, and then I'll take out the last couple that are back there. And so there it is after I let the jack down. So, this is how much the cab will come down once I change the cab mounts as well. So, of course, the bumper had to come off. Apparently, they put the bumper on after they had done the body lift. And so, yeah, look at the size of the metal they're using on this thing. I mean, it's crazy. They were definitely into some heavy steel. And yeah, that bumper's heavy too, So yeah, it'll be good. I'll take care of all the electrical while the bumper's off. Also, the bumper was bent on one corner, so I'll straighten that while it's off. Okay, so all the carriage bolts are in. So the bed is lined up. It's at its final height. It looks much better. It doesn't look like it's up on roller skates or, I don't know. It looked funny before. And so a 2-hour job became a 5-hour job pretty quickly. And I still I'm going to have to make some sort of bumper brackets that will fit the new height. Check out the thickness of the metal they were using for those bumpers. Just massive. Like, it's so heavy. So yeah, those are going to have to be reconfigured a bit to move the height of the bumper a bit. Oh, that made a mess. I'm tired. That wore me out. So yeah, this just came in. This is the lens bezel, or the bezel lens, I guess it would be, for the gauges. And that's kind of what I was waiting on in order to start putting the dash back together. So that's coming soon. So yeah, someone was back here trying to hook up a trailer. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. So this will be a good time to take care of all that, get rid of all this electrical tape, and find out. This is that house wire. It doesn't seem to go to anything. So I don't know where the other end goes to. I'll find out where it goes. And yeah, I don't know, that's weird. Here's a couple of the body lifts that they were using. Pretty amazing. This one still has the bark on it. That's crazy. Pretty creative. So yeah, this corner of the bumper's got a little bit of a bend in it. It's not too bad, but I have a bearing press. I should be able to straighten it out. I've straightened other bumpers before. I'll take it over to the bearing press and try and straighten it later. I hope to have a few hours tomorrow. I'll do the cab and drop it down, take out those spacers that are in it. I'm not sure if those are wood or more of these plastic ones. I'll find out tomorrow. So here's all the junk that came out from the bed bolts. These are the old ones. You know, these are just big old hex head bolts, which those would have sucked having in the bed of the truck. You know, because now it's carriage bolts, so it's flat. But like, I shovel a lot of dirt and manure here. I have an organic farm here, and so we're always loading dirt and manure in and out of the truck. And so that would have sucked hitting these with the shovel. 8 of these in the bed. Here's some of the wood spacers. I measured them. They're 2 inches. So this lost 2 inches of height. And yeah, it's all the junk that came out. So all my morning work is done. I got some coffee. Time to change out those cab mount bolts and bushings and get that cab sitting right. Okay, so immediately kind of ran into a problem. There was a fuel line, breather line that was rotten and broken. So I got that replaced. And then, so at some point, someone has replaced the exhaust, and they did it a little unconventional. It's all welded, but they put it right over the body mount. It's the muffler should be back a bit further. And so I'm gonna have to drop the exhaust in order to be able to get the body bolts out. A little added work. So I got the exhaust loosened up, and I'm wedging the camera up in here. Here's some of the wiring. It looks like we got some bare wires and tape, and it's melted. So I'm gonna have to see what's going on with that. But for right now, I'm trying to get out this body mount bolt right there. So I'll see what I can do here. Okay. So, oh man, I still can't. The maniacs who made this exhaust welded it all in one piece. And I can't. And this side, the transfer case is in the way, so I can't move it very far. And so, God, I'm gonna have to take this all off. So they must have done this body lift a long time ago, because like the bumper and the muffler, the exhaust has all been built or added after. Ugh, nightmare. Okay, so here's the ones I got out so far. And this one's pretty crushed. And this one's not in too bad a shape. But yeah, they've definitely been in there a while. And they still had those same spacers as the other. So far, There's only been 2 that were made of wood. But I've only got the back 2 out. It's been a couple hours. Moving that exhaust was the worst. Now I'll do the front 2 and then the radiator support. Okay, so the last 2 that are on the very front, the radiator core support ones, got a little complicated again. I had to take off the bumper, which was kind of a bummer, but it'll work out for the best. I'll polish it and clean it up while it's off. All of the new mounts are in. I haven't bolted them down yet. I haven't cranked them down yet. They're just in place. The bolts are through. As you can see, it lines up pretty good. I think just this little 1/8 of an inch, once I crank it down, it'll come right into line. And so yeah, this is the new height on it. One thing that did complicate things a bit, I've been having trouble with the hood latch, and now it doesn't want to unlatch. So somehow I got to get up underneath, pull on the cable, try and get the hood open. But I think that's going to be for another day. For right now, I'm going to finish cranking down all these body bolts. But I like it. It looks good at this height. It looks natural or factory, I guess. And yeah, it looks good. Now that the bumper's off, I'll polish it, clean it up, make it look real nice. Okay, here's all the old stuff that came off. Most of it's pretty trashed, pretty far gone. They're all pretty hard and crusty and pretty trashed. So yeah, it needed to be done. Glad it's over. It was 2 afternoons of work, but it's done. Hey everyone, big favor, if you could vote for my friend Ralph Ramos. He's got a good chance to build a motorcycle with Paul Tuttle. So far he's in first place. It's one of those competitions, vote for your favorite builder kind of thing. And so yeah, he lives right here in Taos. He's awesome. He's built some beautiful bikes. And so yeah, I think it'd be a cool thing if he could win. I'll put the link in the description. Give him a vote and maybe I can get him on one of the upcoming videos and we can see his shop and some of his bikes and projects. So here it is. It's at the stock ride height. It looks natural, or it looks like it would have looked from the factory, which is super cool. This is a good place to end for this week. I appreciate everyone subscribing and commenting and all that. I appreciate it. And yeah, next week I'm tired of doing exterior stuff. I think I got all the parts I need to start putting the dash back together. I'll start getting into the wiring. And yeah, kind of looking forward to it. I'm still waiting on the seat cover. That hasn't come in yet, which is kind of a bummer. We'll start getting into this dash and putting the new one in and trying to make everything work. This thing, it looks awesome. I'm really liking this truck a lot. It's just a cool looking truck. Peace and love.
Sometimes I feel like a lizard in a tin box. Sometimes it's just like being in a tin box. Like a lizard in a tin box. Can't hold on to the shiny